Imagine a world where humans live up to 200 years, double the current average life expectancy. What would this mean for individuals, society, and the planet? Today, we'll explore the incredible possibilities and challenges that could arise from such a monumental shift in human lifespan. Before we dive into today's fascinating video, make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. Now let's get into it. To begin, let's think about what extending life to 200 years would do to a person's life. Currently, the average life expectancy worldwide is about 72 years. This means that many people are only beginning their careers, raising families, or discovering new passions in their 50s or 60s. But with a lifespan of 200 years, people would have much more time to do all of these things. For instance, a typical person today might retire at around 65. With 200 years of life, we might see people working for much longer, even into their 130th year. The idea of retirement could change completely. People may retire, only to start a completely new career or venture later in life, possibly several times. With more time to build careers, learn new skills, and pursue passions, the concept of a midlife crisis might fade away. People would have time to find themselves again and again, which could lead to a healthier, more fulfilling life. But living longer wouldn't just affect people on an individual level. Society as a whole would have to evolve to accommodate these extended lifespans. If the average lifespan doubled, we would see a dramatic shift in the workforce. With more people staying active and engaged in their careers for much longer, the job market would become far more competitive. It might be harder for younger generations to enter the workforce when there are so many older, experienced workers staying in their roles for longer. Some research has shown that older workers tend to be highly productive, with experience playing a key role in their work. For example, a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that workers in their late 50s and 60s are often more effective than their younger counterparts due to their wealth of experience. But the flip side is that younger generations might face difficulties finding jobs or climbing the career ladder when older workers occupy those roles for a longer time. But what about the elderly population? In the current world, those over 65 are often considered to be in their golden years, enjoying retirement, grandchildren, and leisure. However, in a world where people live to 200, the definition of old age would change dramatically. One study found that by the year 2050, over 22% of the world's population will be over 65, and that number is expected to increase significantly. With people living much longer, society would need to rethink retirement homes, healthcare, and even the concept of aging itself. People could stay physically fit for much longer, thanks to advances in healthcare and medical technology. Imagine a 100-year-old who still has the strength and stamina of someone half their age. Research into anti-aging treatments has been progressing rapidly. Scientists are studying ways to slow down or even reverse the aging process, such as using gene editing technologies or regenerative medicine. In fact, a recent study from Harvard University showed that gene therapy could potentially slow the aging process and extend life. If these breakthroughs become a reality, a lifespan of 200 years could very well be achievable. However, there's another crucial aspect to consider: health. As people live longer, maintaining health for 2 centuries could become increasingly difficult. Currently, we know that health issues like heart disease, cancer, and dementia become more common as people age. To counter this, the world would need to invest heavily in healthcare infrastructure, preventative medicine, and research to ensure that people don't just live longer, but live healthily. The elderly might spend more of their lives battling chronic diseases, which could place a heavy burden on health systems worldwide. Let's consider the economic impacts as well. If people are working for much longer, they will continue contributing to the economy. This could lead to a boost in overall productivity. However, it could also lead to an overburdened pension system. Currently, pensions and social security systems are designed with the assumption that people will live for a maximum of 70 to 80 years. But with people living to 200, pensions could stretch far beyond what was initially planned. This would lead to a massive shift in how governments manage retirement benefits. If more people are living longer, the younger population might find themselves shouldering a heavier tax burden to fund social security and healthcare systems for the elderly. Currently, the global fertility rate is declining, with many countries seeing fewer births each year. In 2021, the global fertility rate dropped to about 2.3 children per woman, which is below the replacement level of 2.1. With fewer children being born, the population balance shifts toward an older demographic, and fewer young people would be available to support the older generations. This could create an imbalance between the young and the old, leading to tensions between different age groups. One of the most interesting impacts would be on global population growth. Right now, the world's population is just over 8 billion, and it's growing steadily. But if humans lived much longer, this growth would accelerate. By 2050, the global population is expected to exceed 9 billion people. However, if we live twice as long, the population could potentially double even faster. This would put significant pressure on resources such as food, water, and energy. We'd need to find ways to feed and house billions of people living much longer lives. The environment might also feel the strain. The longer humans live, the more resources they would consume over their lifetimes. This could lead to further environmental degradation unless we make significant changes in how we use the Earth's resources. Sustainable practices would need to be implemented on a global scale, with innovations in renewable energy, recycling, and eco-friendly technologies becoming even more urgent. So, how would relationships change in a world where humans live to 200? If you think about it, a longer life could lead to deeper, more lasting relationships. People could experience multiple stages of love, family, and friendships throughout their long lives. Couples might go through different phases of their relationships, and families could span multiple generations in a way that is rare today. However, with more time, there could also be the potential for more conflict and complexity. People may go through several divorces or experience shifting values as they age, leading to a different kind of social dynamic. In terms of personal growth, living to 200 would allow people to evolve in ways that are currently impossible. The human brain remains plastic and capable of learning well into old age, but with additional years, we could witness people mastering multiple careers, languages, and artistic skills that would be unimaginable today. Education systems would need to be restructured to accommodate lifelong learning, ensuring that people could continue to grow and evolve throughout their extended lives. In conclusion, while living to 200 years may sound like a utopian dream, it would come with a variety of challenges, both personal and societal. From healthcare to pensions, from the economy to the environment, our world would have to adapt in ways we can't fully predict. However, the possibilities are exciting. With more time, we could build a world where knowledge, experiences, and relationships reach unimaginable depths. The question is, are we ready for such a future? Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on exciting ideas about the future. See you in the next video.